welcome to the stream. I'm exhausted. I want to be in bed, man. I need some days off. My body is aching today. Do some yoga, maybe that'll help. It's funny I call it yoga. It's actually not yoga at all. It's just stretching. Hello, bonjour, welcome to the stream. Oh my God, that's I'm doing well, thank you. Although I'm doing well, but I'm a little bit achy. Yesterday I went for a bike ride, and my body is just feeling a little bit sore. Making bagels. Yeah, making bagels. There's a batch in the pot. I've just begun. Nothing in the oven yet. Such a cute Canadian. Thank you. It's very flattering. Canadians are generally a pretty attractive bunch of people. The ones in Vancouver anyways, I don't know. I've lived in Alberta and BC, so I don't know what the rest of the provinces have to offer, but there's plenty of attractive people here. Well, I'm glad that you count me among the attractive people, I suppose. Oh, sorry, my brain is really fuzzy right now. Sorry, I don't know any French. I think that was French question. I know bonjour and au revoir. Comme ci, comme ça. I'd like to know more French, but I actually don't know anybody that speaks French, sadly enough. And I don't have, very much time on my hands to learn other languages. I'm trying to learn Spanish, but I don't practice it often enough to be able to speak it very well. Yeah, I would say Canada is a wonderful country to live in. It's democratic. The people are free and able to do what they want to do with their lives. They're able to marry who they want to marry. They're able to smoke what they want to smoke eventually next year. Whatever. July 2018 is the day of legalization of marijuana. I would say Canada is a very good country, and I'm glad to be a Canadian. And I'll be celebrating my yes, in Vancouver. Vancouver is a very diverse city. Not all cities in Canada are as diverse as Vancouver, but it's one of the reasons I moved here is because I wanted to live in a multicultural city that's a cultural and economic hub of our great nation. That said, there's a lot of things that Canada can do that would improve the lives of its people. Like, for instance, education is very expensive. Canada, our government could do a better job of making education more affordable. Our government could do a better job of treating our Indigenous peoples more fairly and providing them with justice for the atrocities that were committed against them in our past. So yeah, Canada's not perfect, but it definitely is one of the better countries in the world, I would suspect. Are there any Canadians watching? Tell me what you're going to do on Canada Day. I'd like to know. I'm going to try to go see a concert by the Sam Roberts Band. He's one of my favorite musicians. Hello, Albertan. I used to be an Albertan. I lived in Calgary. I grew up in Sundre. I lived in Calgary for a few years. I lived in Red Deer before that for 2 years, and then I moved to Calgary. And then I lived in Edmonton for 3. So I know Alberta well. It's my home province. Very fortunate and glad to make BC my home, though. Love living here in BC. Oh, nice Vulcan. Well, I hope you enjoy your Canada Day celebrations. I don't think I've ever been to Vulcan. That's the town with the Star Trek monument, I believe. Oh, sorry, I missed that. You said you too, yeah, okay. I would do the thing that, but I can't do it. I just don't have the finger control. Do it like that. Live long and prosper. Oh my god, I need some caffeine. Oh, this is hard. This morning is hard. Close enough. I start work at 4 o'clock. I wake up at 3. When I first started this job, I had to wake up at 2 o'clock and start at 3 o'clock because we used to bake pastries in the morning, and I had to bake the pastries before I baked the bagels because the oven temperature was different. So I'm glad we don't bake pastries anymore because now that means I don't have to wake up early in the morning. Or as early in the morning. 2 o'clock is too early. 3 o'clock I can do. What is our date? I don't know. Yeah, not many people do. I really like my job, but yeah, that's probably the hardest thing to deal with is the hours. And most people that have done this job, if they choose to quit, it's usually because they don't enjoy the hours. Or not able to cope with the hours. I've been doing this for quite a while now, though I'm pretty used to it. Some mornings are easier than others. This morning's a difficult one. This is a hard morning. Feeling a little bit sore, tired, but I work today and tomorrow, then I have a couple days off. I don't know what you mean. Canada's a wonderful country. Don't give up. Yeah. Yeah, mixers can be loud and noisy. And I would not want to sleep above a bakery with a mixer. That would be terrible. So I missed that. Canada is amazing. Canada pride. Oh, excuse me, holy smoke. You mean the oven? Well, I have a broom. And occasionally we use a wet rag to, the oven sort of cleans itself. I mean, it's pretty hot in there. Things tend to just burn up when you put them in there, if you leave them in there long enough. So, it's a pretty sterile environment, I would say. I clean the front with, like, stainless steel cleaner. If that's what you're asking. And I sweep the deck with a wired brush. So. Oh, sorry, I missed that. It was something about making America great again or something. I don't understand that term, make America again great again. I'm like, America's probably never been stronger economically, militarily, culturally. You put too much numbing cream. Sorry, I missed the comment above that. I do not know what you're talking about. Ban shredded cheese to make America great again. If that's all it takes to make America great again, then go ban away. Oh, sorry, I missed that one. Sorry, my screen's not very big and I can't see all your comments. I apologize if I miss your comment, but that is the reason why. It's because I cannot see it from the distance. I'm way between medium and screen. Oh, sorry, my brain is really fuzzy brain. I didn't get a lot of rest on my days off. I went to Victoria with my parents on a short vacation, and I did not get as much sleep as I needed. I'm badly in need of a day of rest. Yes. Yeah, that's really sad what's going on with your healthcare. I really feel sad for the for poor sick Americans. They're being abused by the government here. Oh, it's easy to get healthcare in Canada. I've never had a problem getting healthcare in Canada. I'm pretty healthy though. Like, I haven't had a lot of health issues in my lifetime, so I'm pretty fortunate that way. But whenever I have had to go to the doctor, it's been very pleasant experience. Well, not pleasant, but you know what I'm trying to say. Hello from Russia. I missed that comment above the Russia comments earlier. Hello, comrade. You have a wife? No, I do not have a wife. I am a single male. A husband? No, I do not have a husband. I just said I'm single. And I am heterosexual. I am not gay. No, baking. It's sort of like smithing. No, I'm baking bagels. Montreal bagels. Yeah. Oh, it almost looks like I'm a blacksmith though. I'm a bagel smith. guys talk so cute. Yeah. My accent has a little bit of an Albertan twang to it, so Albertans have a peculiar accent all to their own. Oh, sorry, missed it. I really like the Russian accent when Russians speak English. Quite enjoy that accent. There was a girl that worked here for a while who was from Croatia, and I really liked her accent as well. Oh, pardon me. Thank you. Happy birthday to you too. Well, these are bagels, so they're different than bread, but we boil them so that it gives them a really hard, thick crust. It also adds sweetness because there's honey in the water, and because there's honey in the water, the seeds stick better. So there's a few reasons that we boil the bagels, but that's what a real bagel is a boiled ring of dough. Yeah, but the main reason is it gives it a hard, crisp crust that you just don't get if you don't boil them. They take about 20 minutes to bake, I guess. So they're in the pot for about 5 minutes, then they're on the boards for about 2 or 3, and I flip them off onto the deck, and they're on the deck for like 2 or 3 minutes, and I put them into, then I brown them, flip them and brown them on the other side, and that takes about 20 minutes. But I always have 3 to 4 batches going in the oven at the same time. So I currently have 2 batches in the oven and 1 in the pot. And there are 30 bagels per batch. So I have 60 bagels in the oven, and I have 30 in the pot. Sesame, everything, and poppy seed. Oh, my brain's waking up slowly. Starting to feel a little bit more energized this morning. It's going to be a hot one. The sun is coming up. together with trunks of memories still to come. We found things to do, stormy weather, long may you run. So I can't sing. That was Neil Young. If you didn't know. Long may you run. Hamlin Towns in Brunswick, my famous Hanover city. The river western deep and wide washes its wall at the south side. A pleasanter spot you never spied. But when begins my ditty, almost 500 years ago, to see the townsfolk suffer so from vermin was a pity. Rats, they fought the dogs and killed the cats, and bit the babies in the cradle, and ate the cheeses from the vats, and licked the soup from the crystal ladles, split open the kegs of salted sprats, made nests and made Sunday hats, and even spoiled the women's chats by drowning out their speaking and shrieking and squeaking in 50 different sharps and claps. Alas, the people in a body to the town hall came flocking. 'Tis clear, cried they, our mayor's a naughty. And as for our corporation, shocking to think we buy gowns lined with ermine for dogs who can't or won't determine what's best to rid us of our vermin. You hope because you're old and obese to find the furries of a growth ease. Rouse up, sirs, give your brains a racking, find the remedy we are lacking, or sure as fate will send you packing. At this American corporation quaked with mighty consternation. An hour they sat in council. At length the mayor broke silence. For a gilder eyed my urban gown sell. I wish I were a mile hence. It's easy to bid one rack one's brain. I'm sure my poor head aches again. I scratch it so, but all in vain. Oh, for a trap, a trap, a trap. Just as he said this much should happen, at the chamber door but a gentle tap. Bless us, cried the mayor on the staff, with the corporation as he sat, looking little through wondrous fat. Nor brighter were his eyes, nor moister than the too long open oyster, save when at noon his paunch grew mutinous, for a plate of turtle green and glutinous. Only a scraping of shoes on a mat, anything like the sound of a rat makes my heart go pit-a-pat. Come in, cried the mayor, looking bigger, and in did come the strangest figure. His long queer coat from heel to head was half yellow and half red, and he himself was tall and thin, with sharp blue eyes, each like a pin, and light loose hair and swarthy skin, nor tuft of hair on cheek nor beard on chin, but lips where a smile went out and in. There was no guessing his kith or kin, and no one could enough admire this tall man who was quaint attired. Quoth one, it's as my great-grandsire, starting up at the trump of doom's tone, had walked away from his painted tombstone. He advanced towards the council table, and please, your honor, said he, I am able, by means of secret charm to draw, all the creatures living beneath the sun, that crawl or swim or fly or run, after me so as you never saw. And I chiefly use my charm on creatures that do people harm. The mole and toad is the viper. People call me the Pied Piper. And here they notice around his neck a scarf of red and yellow stripe, to match with his coat the self-same check. And that scarf's end hung a pipe, and his fingers they noticed were ever straining, as if impatient to be playing upon this pipe, as low it dangled over his vesture so old-fangled. Yes, said he, Pied Piper as I am, in tart hard I gladly am. Last June there were huge swarms of gnats. I eased and aged in my zam, a monster's brood of vampire bats. And as for what your brain bewilders, if I rid your town of rats, will you give me 1,000 guilders? 50,000 was the exclamation of astonished mayor and corporation. Once more he stepped into the street of Piper Step, smiling first a little smile, as if he knew what magic slept in his quiet pipe the while. Like a musical adept to blow his pipe, his lips he wrinkled, and green and blue his sharp eyes twinkled, like a candle flame where salt is sprinkled. And ere 3 shrill notes of pipe uttered, you heard as if an army muttered, and a muttering grew to a grumbling, and a grumbling grew to a mighty rumbling, and out of the houses came the rats tumbling. Great rats, small rats, lean rats, brawny rats, brown rats, black rats, gray rats, tawny rats, grave old plotters, gay young friskers, fathers, mothers, uncles, cousins, talking tales and pricking whiskers, families by tens and dozens, brothers, sisters, husbands, wives, fall the Pied Piper for their lives. From street to street he piped advancing, and step for step they followed dancing, until they came to the river Weser, where it all plunged and perished, save one who stout as Julius Caesar swam across and lived to carry, as he the manuscript he carried, to Ratland home his commentary, which was, at first shrill notes of the pipe, I heard a sound as of scraping tripe, and putting apples wondrous ripe into the cider pressing right. And it seemed as if a voice was moving away a pickle tub boards, and leaving a jar of conserve cupboards, and drawing the corks of train oil flasks, and the breaking hoops of butter casks. And it seemed as if a voice, sweeter far than by harp or by psalteries breathed, called out, "Oh, rats, rejoice! The world has grown to a vast risaltery. So munch on, crunch on, take your nunch on, breakfast, supper, dinner, lunch on, and just as a bulky sugar punch on, already staved like a great sun shone, gracious scarce an inch before me, just as methought it said, come bore me, I found the Weser rolling over me. You should have heard the Hamlin people ring the bells till they rocked the steeple. Go, cried the mayor, and get long poles, poke out the nests and block up the holes. Consult with carpenters and builders, and leave in our town not even a trace of the rats. When suddenly up the face of the piper perked in the marketplace. The first, if you please, my 1,000 guilders. 1,000 guilders. The mayor looked blue, so did the corporation too. For council dinners may wear havoc, clarable sallow finger draw of hawk, and half the money would replenish their cellar's biggest butt of Rhenish, to pay this sum to a wondering fellow, with gypsy coat of red and yellow. Besides, quoth the mayor with a knowing wink, our business was done at the river's brink. We saw with our eyes the vermin sink, and what's dead can't come to life, I think. So, friend, we're not folks to shrink from our duty of giving you something to drink, and a matter of money to put in your poke. But as for the guilders, what we spoke of them, as you well know, wasn't a joke. Besides, our losses have made us thrifty. 1,000 guilders, come, take 50. The piper's face fell and he cried, no trifling, I can't wait beside. I promise a visit by dinner time, Baghdad, and accept the crime of the head cook's potage. All he's rich in, for having left in the caliph's kitchen, of a nest of scorpions, no survivor. With him I prove no bargain driver, with you don't think I'll bait a stiver. And folks who put me in a passion may find me pipe after another fashion. How, cried the mayor, do you think I brook, being worse treated than a cook, insulted by a rival, with idle pipe and vesture piebald? Threaten us, fellow, do your worst, blow your piper till you burst. Once more he stepped into the street, and to his lips again laid his long pipe and smooth straight cane, and airy to the 3 notes, such sweet soft notes as yet musicians cunning never gave in round air. There was a rustling that seemed like a bustling of merry crowds justling, a pitching and hustling. Small feet were pattering, wooden shoes clattering, little hands clapping, and little tongues chattering, and like folds in a farmyard where barley is scattering, out came the children running, all the little boys and girls, with rosy cheeks and flax and curls, and sparkling eyes and teeth like pearls, tripping and skipping right merrily after. The wonderful music was shouting and laughter. The mayor was dumb, and the council stood, as if they were changed into blocks of wood, unable to move a step or cry, to the children barely skipping by, could only follow with an eye that joyous crowd at the piper's back, and how the mayor was on the rack, and the wretched council's bosoms beat, as the piper turned from the high street, to where the Weser rolled its waters, right in the way of their sons and daughters. However, he turned from south to west, and to Copperberg Hill his steps addressed, and after him the children pressed, great was the joy in every breast. He never crossed the mighty top, he forced to let the piping drop, and we shall see our children stop. When lo, they reached the mountainside, a wondrous portal opened wide, as if a cavern was suddenly hollowed. The piper advanced and the children followed, and when all were in to the very last, the door in the mountainside shut fast. Did I say all? No one was lame, and could not dance the whole of the way. And in after years, if you would blame his sadness, he was used to say, it is dull in our town since my playmates left. I can't forget that I'm bereft of all the pleasant sights they see, which the piper also promised me. For he led us, he said, to a joyous land, joining the town in jest in hand, where waters gushed and fruit trees grew, flowers before the fairer hue, and everything was strange new. The sparrow was bright as a peacock here, and their dogs outran our fellow deer, and honeybees had lost their stings. And horses were born with eagle's wings, and just as I became assured, my lame foot would be speedily cured. The music stopped, and I stood still, and found myself outside the hill, left behind against my will, to go now lifting as before, and never hear of that country more. Alas, alas for Hamelin, there came to many a burgher's pate a text which says that heaven's gate opes to the rich at an easy rate, as the needle's eye takes the Hamelin. The mayor sent east, west, north, and south, to offer the piper by word of mouth, wherever it was men's lot to find him, silver and gold to his heart's content, if only they returned the way he went, and bring the children behind him. But when they saw it was lost endeavor, and piper and dancer were gone forever, they made a decree that lawyers never should take their records dated duly, if after the day of the month and year, these words do not as well appear. And so long after what happened here, on the 22nd of July, 1376, and the better in memory to fix the place of the children's last retreat, they called it the Pied Piper Street, where anyone playing pipe or tabor was sure for his future lose his labor, nor suffered they hostelry or tavern to shock and word the streets so solemn. And opposite the place of the column, they wrote the story on a column. On great church window painted, the same to make the world acquainted how their children were stolen away. And there it stands this very day. And I must not omit to say that in Transylvania there's a tribe of alien people who ascribe the way and dress of which their neighbors face such dress to their fathers and mothers having risen out of some subterranean prison into which they were Japan long time ago in a mighty band out of Hamlin Town in Brunswick land, but how or why they don't understand. So, Lily, let me and you be wipers of scores out with old men and especially pipers. And if they pipe us free from rats or from lice, if we promise them aught, let us keep our promise. The Pied Piper of Hamelin by Robert Browning. Wow. I pissed off everybody that was watching. Hello, welcome to the stream. Salut. Hola, mi amigo. Hello. One day God said, this is what I'll do. I'll send down my son. I'll send him down to you to clear up this humpity-bumpity hullabaloo. His name will be Christ, and he'll never wear shoes. And his pals will all call him the King of the Jews. He didn't come in a plane. He didn't come in a jeep. He didn't come in the pouch of a high-jumping gold beef. He rode on the back of a black Saskatoon, the blackiest creature you ever could view. He rode into Jerusalem, home of the grumpy Jews, where false prophets were worshipped, some even in twos. There was Murray Palmer and Genghis Beauvais, the one you could worship taking a snooze. Christ spoke from a mound, which is a pile of ground, and people gathered around without making a sound. Thus he spake, sin in socks full of sin. How shall we quiet this Jehovah din? Do unto others as others do unto you. That includes you, Timothy Foo. And one Pharisee said to another he knew, what shall we do about this uppity Jew? Wash him in wine and make him all clean, and into Sam Biddle's crucifixion machine. Twirl the whirl and release the goblies, and then go the nails as fast as you please. And he said as he bled, forgive them, Father, for they know not what they do, because they walk through this world wearing two crappity shoes. Do you? Amen. The Dr. Seuss Bible by Kids in the Hall. I need my salt shaker. There's a young lady who almost every morning she drives up to Starbucks in her Jeep. She gets out in a hurry. She goes in Starbucks. She gets a coffee. She gets back into her Jeep and she lights a cigarette. And she holds it like this, high up in the air, steering her wheel. I watch her do that every morning. Most mornings. I just like how she holds her cigarette like that, high up in the air, like it's an elegant thing to do. Oh, the sun right in my eyes. Oh, I can't see the screen because the sun has blinded me. Sorry, I missed your comment there. I'm currently blinded by the sun. You may ask again if you'd like. I'm looking at the screen right now.
life. There were plants and birds and rocks and things. There were sand and hills and rings. First thing I met was a flight buzz in the sky with no clouds. The heat was hot and the ground was dry, but the year was full of sand. We'd see a beam from the desert on the fourth new name. It felt good to be up the way when the destiny can have anything to do. Keep your friend. Looking in her babe, story told of a river that flowed, made me sad to think it was dead. Oh, you see a man every day on a horse, you know, and he felt good to be out the way, and then he ran because they knew I won't give you pain. Blinded by the light. Sorry, I'm not being very entertaining. I'm probably being mildly irritating. I apologize. Thanks for watching. I'm hoping you're having a wonderful morning, afternoon, evening, night. No lullabies. It's such a lovely tune, though. Lovely melody. If I had children, I would whistle it to them. I am trying to stay awake as well. Actually, I'm pretty awake now. I have the sun right in my eyes to help me stay awake, so thank you, sun, for
poking me right in the eye with your ray of light. It's going to go down, it's going to go up above the roof, and eventually it will not be in my eyes. So. I'm making bagels. Montreal style bagels. So interesting. Are you being sarcastic? It's hard to tell sarcasm with chat. I don't really come across very many sarcastic people in chat. Or I wouldn't know. How would I know? I don't know. Well, I think that's the end of the show today. I'm going to stop my broadcast. I want to thank you for watching. Yeah, they don't, well, I'm not, they bake. I'm not cooking it. I guess I'm cooking them in hot water. So I cook them in the water, and then I put them on the boards, and they sit on the boards for about 2 or 3 minutes until the water evaporates underneath. I flip them off the boards onto the deck, and then I put them into 3 rows, into a column of 3 rows, and I let them brown on one side, and I flip them over and I let them brown on the other side, and then I take them out of the oven. So that is the process. I do that over and over and over again for 10 hours. Well, I'm not baking for 10 hours straight, but well, these are Montreal style bagels. There's other ways to bake bagels, but this is the technique that Montreal bakers developed. Well, I don't know if they developed it. I don't know where. I don't know where it originated. I'm sure it's